Thanks, Elka. Thank you. Well, good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for coming to the last session of the day before networking hour. How's everybody's ACDC so far? Good? Right on. Excellent. I really appreciate you coming to this, because this is the time you are going to invest in yourselves and your career health. It feels a bit weird to be so far up here, and Dave's got the spotlight on me as well, so I might move around a bit. I have passed out some handouts. I was given the number of 50 people who were registered, so I'm out of handouts. So if there are people who did not register for this session, thanks for coming, but if it's okay to share a little bit amongst ourselves, or if there's extras at any of the tables, if you can pass them around, that would be greatly appreciated. So thanks for coming this afternoon. We're going to spend the next hour investing in your career health, because we spend so much time helping our clients with their career health. And career health, that whole term is something I've been thinking about a lot lately, especially when I look at kind of how we navigate the healthcare system and all the paraprofessionals that are in our lives, and how many of us take the time to talk to a career advisor. We have all the tools. Do we really need to? So that's what we're going to be talking about today. And we're going to take some time to look at our values, our interests, our skills, and just do take a look at ourselves and how we're feeling about our careers. So a little bit more about me. I've had a pretty diverse, a lot of different jobs in my career. I started after university at the University of Guelph in a contract job as a recruiter for the university. I left that job for what I would call a dream job, which is a travel writer for the CAA, or Alberta Motor Association. Oh, actually, sorry, I forgot. There's one in between there. That was my worst job ever. ABS friction. My landlord came to me after I graduated and said, "Hey, Lise, I want to give you a job." I said, "Sure, yeah, of course. What kind of job?" And he said, "You're going to work on the factory floor, painting brake pads for cars." I'm like, "But here's my shiny English degree. You want to do something else than that, don't you?" Spent about 4 weeks on the factory floor before I quit, and I had another contract at the U of G. I then moved to Alberta. That was about 18 years ago. That's a job as a tourism editor for CAA. I traveled all over Western Canada and Alaska, inspecting and rating hotels and restaurants for a travel guide. Yeah, it was as good as it sounds. It was totally awesome. I got to see stuff that I've never seen before. But I got tired of the travel. I was in that job on the road 300 nights a year. And then I met a boy. And did anybody want to be on the road when they meet a boy? Not really. So I actually started taking a career development certificate from Conestoga College, which is where I did formal education in this field. And when I got tired with that job on the road, I started my real formal career, I guess you could say, in career development, which was with the youth in career services. I left that job after the birth of my first kid, went to CBE, left that job, went to the CGA. There's a lot of C's in my career history, isn't there? Jeepers. And then I did what I call the rocking chair test. After the birth of my second child, I thought, do I want to go into the workforce and work full-time with my kids in care? Do I want to stay at home full-time and not do anything? And so I'm kind of straddled in the middle. I'm a hybrid. So I'm not working full-time. I'm not stay-at-home full-time mom. I'm in the middle, and that's when I launched Careers That Work For You. So it's my own little company. And these are the two that I blame that on. So this is Emmett and Oscar. Actually, it was this one, that little one. He's a devil, man. Oh, he's 4, but he's actually 16 in his mind. So these two were the ones that led me to make a career decision to leave the traditional workforce. I think I would like to congratulate all of you for coming to the session, because you're going to take a look inside yourself today. We're going to look at our values, because I know for me, it's not something I do very often. I don't sit down and go, okay, what are my values? And if somebody said to me, what are your values? I would say, fun. And that's about it. I get stuck right there. And as we know, it's really important to have careers that fit our values, our interests, our skills, our abilities, and our career assets, isn't it? So thank you for coming today. And I believe that when you take the time to know yourself and appreciate yourself and your talents, you're happier and you enjoy your work more. And you develop that stronger sense of self. You know what you can contribute and where you need to grow. And that's what I refer to as managing your career health. And I think it's important to acknowledge that we're kind of in a privileged position because we can take that look, because we have jobs and we're employed, and we can take that litmus test to see how we're doing. So we're going to do that today. My hope is that we see if your interests and values and skills are being met for you in your place of work. That you can identify what those 700 skills are that we all have, right? And that you can see if you're using them or what your skills deficit. This morning when I listened to Lisa, holy moly, she changed my lens on things. And I think this session fits into that career knowledge section, the second driver of what's shaping, the trends that are shaping our industry. So are you using your assets and skills? I wanted to take the high five of career development and apply it to career health. So we're going to take a look at that. And then we're also going to take a look at those lifelong tools for career management, so managing your own career health. So how many people go to the doctor every year for their physical? Almost everybody. Yeah, me too. Not my favorite day of the year. I go. How about the dentist? Yeah, dental health, right? Some of you might have a financial advisor. This is my brother-in-law. That's why I have his picture up here. He's great. He's in Collingwood, Ontario, and he's really good at what he does. And we use him. He helps with our financial health. You might go and see a personal trainer for your movement health to make sure that you're doing those movements in the gym properly. You might also go see a psychologist, a social worker, or a counselor to help with your mental health. And finally, you might get a haircut to help with your hair health. So how come we don't see career practitioner in there? Is it because we know all this stuff? We teach our clients all this stuff? This is an image that was created, managing your career health, when I did this workshop for CPA Alberta. And I love this image because it has so many different pieces to it. But I guess I'd like to start you off with, at your tables, do a brainstorm of what is career health. So just brainstorm, like, what is career health? I'd like to hear what your thoughts are on that. And we're going to flip chart it. So I'll give you 5 minutes at your tables. Discuss, brainstorm, whatever you like. Come up with some words to describe what is career health. I'm going to call us back together now. And I would love to hear your thoughts on the definition of career health. What is career health? Balance. Yes?
Financial viability. I'm an entrepreneur.
Okay. I agree. Financial viability. Yes? Job satisfaction. Satisfaction. Progression. Aligned values. Supports.
Opportunity for growth, which doesn't necessarily mean upward progression, but a chance to learn new things.
Definitely.
Feeds your soul.
Feeds your soul. Great. Time to debrief. Okay. What do you mean by that?
Meaning, we have time, let's say, you are having a bad time, right, at work.
Okay.
And you have difficult clients that you need to go and talk to them period and what happened.
Yeah.
Just
Debrief. Okay. Anybody else? Oh, sorry, yes.
That's okay. I think it's important to have that feeling of like you are guiding the boat of your career kind of rather than being tossed about by the waves. Like you've got your hands on the steering wheel rather than just letting yourself be sort of tossed about.
Yeah, that's
Sense of agency or
That's, I don't know if anybody has seen this from Sarek. It's exactly that metaphor that you're paddling the canoe. And it's the 8 guiding principles of career development. It's on their website. I have copies here if you're welcome to take it. But it's exactly that. It's that you are the one guiding that and paddling that boat.
Job satisfaction.
Boat, okay. Yep. It's okay, I put another check mark there. That's obviously really important. Anything else?
Security.
Security.
Recognition.
Okay.
taking care, like self-care.
Self-care, yeah, thank you. We've got a great list here. Any final ones that you have to get out? Yes.
I'm not sure if it's step with purpose.
Purpose, yeah.
Work-life balance, flexibility.
I've got balance here. Can I add that one there? Yeah, okay, yeah. And flexibility. Okay, so as you look at this list and you think about your job right now, how many people in the room have everything on that list? Oh dear. Oh, hey, there's 2 people. Oh, hey, that's great. A couple of people, sort of. Well, and it's kind of hard to answer that. That wasn't a fair question. Because some of this might not be important to you. It's because we all have different reasons for the choices we make in our career, right? So for me, my most important driver is it has to be meaningful and it has to be fun. Some of you might not agree with that. We might have different values when it comes to work. Thank you for this. What I came up with are 2 definitions, one for career health and one for managing your career health. And this is not empirical evidence, it's not research, it's just a career practitioner thinking about her own career, going through a bit of a trough in her career and thinking, what does this mean to have career health? So if you look at the slide, I would suggest that career health is the what. It's that what you do is aligned with your values and interests, uses your skills, it meets your needs, it develops new skills, it allows you to learn and grow, brings you a sense of fill in the blank. Because everybody is different for what that sense is, aren't we? So a lot of what is there, you can see kind of teased out in the words that we came up with, didn't we? Now, what does it mean to manage your career health? Well, I would say it's the how. It's the how you live your career and maintain your career resiliency. You have to be up to date and current in your career management skills. And I would also say that a lot of the job search strategies we teach to our clients are really similar to a lot of the career management styles and a lot of the career management tools that we use in our toolkit. So anybody, any questions, any debate? This is not, like I haven't been published, it's not, set in stone, but any thoughts on this? And I'm not going to say that silence is consent. So there we go.
I think
Yeah.
silence means we're trying to copy your slide.
Oh gosh, really?
Can you put it back?
There you go. Silence means you're copying slides. I think there, and for other presenters who may be in the room, I believe that our slides are available on the CDAA website by the end of this month. So I'm happy to put those slides up there as well. But I'm also somebody who needs to scribe as I'm listening to speakers. So I'll put that up. Any thoughts, any questions, any comments?
I think we all want to be there. I don't know if we all know how to get there, or where, if we know where we are, do we have a healthy career, or do we know how to manage it? I think
Yeah.
I was processing it.
Yeah.
Where am I actually, my focus went straight to managing my career health, not my career health, because I was wondering, am I actually doing what I'm supposed I think I know what I need to do or what that needs to be, but am I actually doing it?
Yeah. So I'll summarize that if that's okay. And that is, I don't know if I'm actually doing what I need to do to keep it healthy. And it's the same with any other health aspect, isn't it? We should all be runners and we should eat well. And like we all know these things, but are we all doing them when it comes to our career? I'm not. I'm totally a hypocrite standing up here saying, career health, yes, we have to do it. But there's tons of stuff that I'm not doing because we all get busy in the everyday, don't we? We're doing our work. But to take a step back and actually reflect on, well, what am I doing? And I guess the question I would say is to test that, am I doing what I need to be doing? If you lost your job tomorrow, what kind of position would you be in? Are your skills up to date? Is your LinkedIn profile there? Are you using it? Do you know what your interests and values are? Do you have people that you could talk to, both to help you with the grief of losing your job, but also with the networking you need to do to get a new job? So just some examples. So that's what I think about. It's like, if I lost my job today, how healthy is my career? Did you finish copying? Okay, great, thank you. So if you have career health, and you're managing your career health, hopefully you never have a day like this. Uh-oh. Dave's going to give us sound any second, right, Dave? Okay. Uh-oh. Dave hasn't given us sound. We might have to skip the video. You can tell what's happening in the video, though, can't you? Want me to do? Okay, who wants to be the first lady? Who wants to be the guy? We could totally do that. That would be really entertaining, actually.
Is it the sound on your laptop? Is that where the sound is turned off?
It's possible. Thank you. No, I think we should be on. Okay, I'm going to give this one last try. And if we can't get it, I'm going to tell you to check it out because it's really fun.
Just let it play. It's okay. We can see what's going on.
All right, I'll let it play. So she screams because she's so frustrated with her job. If you hate your job and people are calling you dummy, you want to be somewhere else. You want to be somewhere else. If you hate your job, people call you dummy, you want to be somewhere else, and you cry every day, might be time. Hate your job, people call you dummy, you want to be somewhere else, you cry, and you want to punch small animals. You hate your job, you want to be somewhere else, you cry, you punch small animals, and you sit next to this guy. You might need a new job. If you drink gold, you hate your job, people call you dummy, you want to be somewhere else, you cry every day, you want to punch small animals, you sit next to this guy, it might be time for a new job. Thank you for your patience. So let's dig deep, let's do it. Let's see where we are right now. We're going to the doctor. We're getting our physical done on our career, okay? I have passed out a copy of a handout with the title Values Audit on it, okay? I have no extras, I'm sorry. So if there are no extras, I may ask to a couple of people to share. Yeah, thank you. So we know, as career development practitioners and professionals, that values is a big piece when it comes to figuring out your happiness in your job. Are you aligned, right? So what I'd like you to do today, and this is a very simple values inventory. It's taken from the ALICE website. The source is just at the top. I think there's about 27 different values. There's 2 columns. In the first column, I would like you to decide if it's important for you in your current position. So you've got a VI, I, or NI. Very important, important, not important. The second column, so separated by the slash, look at your current role and decide if that value is being met for you in your current job. And then the last one is take a look at what your top values are, your top 5 values. And then we'll have a tabletop discussion. Any questions about that? Okay, enjoy. It's always the worst. 1, 2, 3, eyes on me. Was that not the best? Well, you saw my kids. Like, I am so stealing that 1, 2, 3, eyes on me. It's the total worst, though, when the presenter says, go ahead and talk, and then you get in a great conversation, and then she says, stop. And so I'm sorry for that. So any comments or observations about your values analysis? How many? Yeah, go ahead.
I think intrinsically we know, but when we go through the physical exercise, I think it's a very good reminder
Yeah.
to visually see it on paper.
I totally agree.
And that's how our clients feel when they do it.
Yeah. The comment was, I think we kind of know. Like, we know intrinsically what our values are, but when you do it on paper and you see it, it's validating, and you just, like, you see it. You see it. I can tell you one that's not being met for me. So I've been self-employed for 3 years, and I miss being part of a team. And I realized that probably, well, I showed you my career path. I tend to change jobs every 3 years. And it's usually because I get bored, or I go home crying every night because I don't like my job, or something like that. But I'm at my 3-year mark with my own business. And it was kind of a big, like, oh, okay, what's going on? What's happening that I'm feeling a little, ugh? And that one in particular, I'm really missing. Because although I see a lot of people, I see clients, I do presentations, I don't have the same team dynamics that I've had in other jobs in my career. So that was one for me. So I thought, I just have to listen to that, see what to do with that. Any other observations or comments? Yes?
I found when I was trying to see it from the work viewpoint of my role, sometimes I wasn't valuing it as much as they were. They were like, they would value what I was doing more than I valued it. So
Yeah.
I found that interesting.
Yeah. Is that a recognition need, or?
It was like chances to help others. I think that's important, but
Yes.
they would see that as being very important.
Gotcha. Okay. And are you in alignment with kind of your values and what you're doing right now? Is that, I mean, we're not going to be 100%, are we? Like, there's no way. It's just like you're never going to find 100% match in your partner. But it's like dating, isn't it? So when it comes to your world of work right now, is it 100% match, 50, 75? And that's individual for you. But we know the values drive what we do and how important they are. And we do that with our clients too. So thank you. So skills. So we heard a lot about skills this morning from Lisa. And you've probably become familiar with employability skills that the Conference Board of Canada talks about. Skills is a bigger assessment to do. So I don't have a massive assessment. It's a smaller assessment that we're going to take a look at. And it's based on employability skills, not our job skills, not our technical skills. So they define skills as the skills you need to enter, to stay, and to progress in the world of work. And some of those skills we don't even know yet, do we? Because of the future of the world of work. When I listened to platforms and AI and robotics, I felt really sick this morning because I thought, oh man, like I have no interest in any of that stuff and seeing how it interacts with my field. I know I need to learn coding, but I don't want to. And I know it's a skill of the future. So where are our skills deficits when we think about our career in the future? So the top 10 skills, and I apologize, this is a little bit small. This comes from the World Economic Forum. So it's a look at the top skills needed, and it's a comparison of 2015 to 2020. The interesting thing about this list is they're all transferable and they're all soft skills. There's not a lot of technical or on-the-job skills here. They are complex problem solving, critical thinking, creativity, people management, coordinating with others, emotional intelligence, judgment and decision making, service orientation, negotiation, and cognitive friendly. That's what they see the skills of 2020, 2 years from now, basically. So this is almost getting a little bit out of date. As we go through some of these skills lists, I would invite you to think about yourself and where you fall on some of these skills. So this is what the Conference Board of Canada says are employability skills. Shouldn't be a surprise to anybody in the room. They're pretty big kind of buckets, basically. Because communication, we know, has a whole bunch of different features to it. Managing information, using numbers. So as you look at these skills for entering, staying, and progressing in the world of work, where do you fall? Are your skills solid in every single area, or where are your skills deficits? For me, managing information, I go through the overwhelm. When I look at all the information that is out there on social media, in the paper, on the news, the multiple ways I can get information, I'm starting to fall behind in how I manage that kind of information. For me, demonstrating a positive attitude is getting tough. We hear about stuff that happened in Toronto last week, and I go, ugh. We hear about shootings in the States, and I go, ugh. And I think about the winter we just had. You should have seen me at the beginning of April when we getting snow and snow and snow. Like, it was hard to remain positive with that. That's me. And finally, that one, computer literacy. I know I'm falling behind in that. And part of me feels like, holy cow, how do I keep on top of that computer literacy? When I rented a car in Ontario last summer, and there was no key, there was a button, that was like, holy, I've never seen this before. I kid you not. I have like a 2007 Matrix, everything on it. Kids get into my car and go, wow, that's cool, because we have windows that go like this. And then my nieces got in the car with their devices, and they set up the Bluetooth so we could listen to their music. And I'm like, wow, that's cool. I had no idea. I am totally falling behind in my computer literacy. So think about where you fall in some of these skills. Again, they are not specific to our occupation, but they certainly relate to it, don't they? These are the skills specific to our occupation as career development professionals. This is taken from the ALICE website as well. When you look up career development professional or practitioner, this is what comes up. And the skills and characteristics that we need, according to the ALICE website, and I think this one was entered 2016, are listed here. A genuine interest and respect for people from all walks of life. Do you have that? Patience, of course we do. Understanding and the ability to listen non-judgmentally. Excellent oral and written communication skills and presentation skills. Objectivity and tact. The ability to motivate and inspire clients. Ability to facilitate communication in groups. The ability to work with different clients' learning styles, organizational planning skills, ability to work effectively with other professionals. There's the teamwork. And they should enjoy consulting with people, compiling information, working with clients to develop innovative solutions to problems. So again, I invite you to look at that list that's technical skills, basically, right from our profession, and say, have I got the skills needed here? There are tons of skills assessments, as we all know. And so I would suggest maybe finding a skills deficit. See what you're missing to progress, to manage your career health. What skills need to be developed? I know where mine are, and I keep resisting that I have to find workarounds, but I know I have to address those at some point. So who has heard of the high five of career development? Let me see them. has. Good. Anybody else? No? Okay. So there's a guy here, Dave Redekop's his name, and he was one of the fellows who a long, long time ago came up with a way to explain career development. And this is it, the high five of career development. And it's distilled down to 5 things. Change is constant, learning is lifelong or ongoing, focus on the journey, access your allies, and follow your heart. 5 things to help us navigate our careers. On the back of your skills audit sheet, there are 5 questions that are aligned with these 5, the high 5 of career development. So I'm going to take you through that, and then I'm going to ask you to pick a question and discuss it at your table. So number 1, change is constant. So basically that is recognizing that the world around you is constantly changing and being open to change and remaining alert to new opportunities. So I ask you this, how are you doing this in your career right now? If this is something you need to manage your career to make sure it's healthy, how are you doing it right now? Number 2, learning is lifelong. Strive for continuous personal improvement by learning new skills. Join professional associations, take courses, attend conferences. So what have you done in the past 6 months? What are you going to do in the next 6 months? Focus on the journey. Don't focus on one destination. I loved Lisa's analogy this morning of those people that she worked with who were like, well, I'll stay here till I retire, and then I'll figure something out. I was like, oh, wow. How do you wait that long for something like that? So the journey, not that destination, recognizes that your career is a journey, that paddling throughout your lifetime, and appreciate and value each experience along the way. I hated that job in the brake pad factory. Holy moly, I couldn't wait to get out of it. It was the best learning experience I've ever had, because I know I never want to be on a factory floor. So think about how you are demonstrating this, focus on the journey, in your career right now. Access your allies. So rely on the support of our family, friends, mentors. Career success is obviously a team effort. And if you lost your job today, who's in your network that you can comfortably contact for opportunities? So we talk about, oh, you got to build your network, you got to build your network. I think we fall down on maintaining our network. I know I do. And last but not least, follow your heart. Know yourself, believe in yourself, and follow your heart. Pursue what is meaningful to you. So I'd ask you, is your work currently aligned with this? And what do you want to look back on and see? So when I was trying to decide if I was going to go back to the traditional world of work, after my second son, Oscar, was born, I did what I call the rocking chair test. Has anybody heard of the rocking chair test? So imagine this. You're 85 years old. You're sitting in a rocking chair on your front porch, surrounded by cats, dogs, whatever your pet is. And you're sitting in your rocking chair and you're looking back on your life. And you're looking back at a point where you had to make a big decision, a big career decision. What do you want to see? So I imagined that when I was trying to decide, do I want to go back to a full-time job, put my kids in care, or do I want to have more flexibility? And that's what helped, was the rocking chair test, was seeing that moment and thinking, what does life look like? So when you're faced with a career decision, that might be something to help you as you're managing your own career health, the rocking chair test. So what I'd like you to do is take a look at the back of that sheet. Choose 1 or 2 of those questions. They're tough. They're tough questions. I can't answer them right now. I'd probably have to go to a room by myself, maybe retreat, maybe someplace like the Banff Springs Hotel, and just spa it for a while. So have a discussion at your table about how you might be living those things right now. I'll give you about maybe 7 minutes or so. So as you look at the career activism resume, or the career activist resume, there's a few things you'll notice. So the profile, a career activist, avoiding career passivity, knows skills deficits, can clearly and persuasively describe 3 to 5 skills that contribute to employability. Evaluates skills, values, strengths, wants, needs, and interests often. Maintains a personal board of directors to provide professional support, and schedules a personal retreat annually to evaluate career health. I think my whole theory, my whole thesis about managing career health is that we have to make the time to do it. On a macro level, whether it's scheduling that personal retreat, and on a micro level, so what do you do every week, every day that contributes to this? And I'm with you, it's tough because you already have a job. I delivered a workshop to a group of foreign trained professionals last week at the Van Horn Institute. They were all brand new to Canada. They were transitioning their careers to supply chain management. That's the Van Horn Institute. And when we were showing them job search strategies, they were like, wow, look at all these job search strategies. And then when we looked at career management strategies, a lot of them are the same thing. Do you have a resume up to date? Do you have a LinkedIn profile up to date? Are you using LinkedIn? Do you know your skills? Can you move and pivot around? So it was really interesting to talk to a group of people who were trying to find a job using job search strategies and realize, holy cow, we all have 2 jobs. One of them is the one we go to every day that we're paid to do, and the other one is managing our career health. So the experience section, are you a compelling communicator? Do you have a mentor or are you a mentor? Education, this was my favorite one, the Bachelor of Lifelong Learning. So are you constantly upgrading your skills? Are you making sure that you have skills that are relevant for today's world of work? Because then you can graduate from the University of Employability. The skill sets. And this was, as I'm putting this up on the screen as well, ensure your skill portability. So as a career practitioner, if I decided I wanted to be a mental health advocate, can I move over? So make sure you can move your skills from one industry to another. Keep those skills up to date. We saw this when oil and gas shrunk. So many people lost their jobs and they didn't have an up-to-date network. They didn't have people to go to. They weren't layoff-proof. Nobody's layoff-proof, are they? But a lot of this can help you be layoff-resistant and make sure that you're in a healthy place with your career. Ensure employability, culturally current. Think roles, not jobs. Builds financial independence. Deploys career resilience. So how do you bounce back from those career setbacks? And identifies trends of technologies of impact. And then under career activists in our contact section. So are you thoughtful with who you connect with? Do you have a networking strategy? I don't have a networking strategy. There's so much talk about our own personal brand and how we use our brand. Are you using your brand and your networking to keep your network alive and current and maintaining it? And that falls under your social media and brand maintenance as well. So even though you are employed, and maybe happily employed, what are you doing to maintain that career health? Any questions about our career activist resume? Yes?
What do you mean by thinks roles, not jobs?
When people say to me, hey Lise, what do you do? My first answer could be, well, I'm a career development practitioner. It's a role, right? If you are a job, if you think about roles and think of it from a skills perspective, I help people with their job search. And I do that through these things. So I guess it's more thinking less of yourself as a title, thinking more of yourself as a skill set. Any other questions? The last thing that I have handed out, and again I apologize, we're going to have a shortage, is our tactical things. And I'm sorry, it's a checklist. I love lists. I'm a huge list fan. So what types of things are you doing every day to help you with managing your career? We've done some self-assessment today, haven't we? So you know what your values are and how much of those values are being met from your current job. The tactical list is to help you a little bit more with what looks like job search strategies, doesn't it? So Googling yourself. What do you see? What do you like? What do you not like about what you see on Google? Keeping your online profile up to date. Making sure that you are learning, maintaining a network. So these strategies are listed, the ones that I've got up here are listed on that handout, as well as up on our screen. So as you take a look at this list, evaluate yourself against it. What are you doing or not doing? And here's the million-dollar question. What are you going to commit to do as you leave here today? Any comments or observations about that strategies list or the tactical things that you can do for managing your career health? Yes? Sure. So SAR stories are those stories, another acronym is STAR stories. Situation, action, result. So do you have those stories readily available to promote your brand, to talk about on LinkedIn, to talk about in an interview, to talk about in a performance review, if you're going for a promotion? If somebody says to you, well, what makes you a great career development professional? Have you got those stories ready? Situation, action, result. Follows the same formula that we teach our clients in an interview. Yes?
When I look at this, I think, oh my goodness, where's the time?
Oh yeah, totally. So do I.
I work as a professional resume writer and online career coach, and so much of my day is consumed by learning new technology, implementing technology, organizing. Sometimes I go to bed and I can't sleep.
Yeah, I'm with you. So the question is, wow, Lisa's just dumped a whole bunch of stuff on us that we should do to manage our career.
This is going on my dartboard.
This is going on my dartboard. I feel the same thing. How do you do it?
I know it's.
I think like you approach anything. Choose what's the most important and try it. If it doesn't work for you, move on to something else. Because I'm with you. I only Googled myself for the first time in probably like 5 years the other day when I did that workshop, because I had to do the workshop. But it's like we're doing these things for our clients. We're teaching these things for our clients. So how much of that time can you make for yourself? And I don't have the answer, because I am in exactly the same boat as you. We have lives. And we probably would like to be riding our bikes or doing something else instead of managing this kind of stuff. Yeah. So I guess when I think of my own life, I think, okay, I'll try and tackle one of these things this month and see how it goes. One of the tips is put everything in your calendar. You know, I've been trying to rewrite my LinkedIn profile for like 3 years now. I think I know I have to do it. I know I need to put more stuff in there. Do I do it? No. Like, totally, because there's other stuff that's more interesting. But it's certainly something that helps with your career health and something we should probably do. Yeah, so I feel your pain. Yes?
One suggestion is to find a buddy, somebody who's maybe an expert in one of those things you're not.
Yeah.
It saves some of your time of putting all the resources together. And I mean, that's one thing that giving back. And I think we're all in that industry where you want to give back to one of your fellows that is helping everybody else, and it kind of saves time and mental sanity, I guess.
Yeah.
Yes, we were just actually talking about LinkedIn profile and how it's just a huge task when you don't have one.
Oh, totally.
But then why not find somebody who's really good at it or gets some good input, and then your time to build that will be much less than
Yeah.
starting on their own and trying to figure it out and learn. So I think one thing that is good is to kind of look at that. And
Sounds
yes,
good.
tackle one a month. I was like, there are 15, so one and a quarter a month.
There you go. So the suggestion was find a buddy. And what I hear in that, outsource. How much of this can you outsource? I order my groceries online now. I love it. It's great. It saves me so much time and click and collect from Superstore. How much of this can you barter? Can you outsource? But the buddy, the two things that come to mind with that are, do you have a mastermind group? And can they hold you accountable? Do you have a personal board of directors? Or do you just have a buddy who's like, okay, this month, this is what we're going to do? And you might go some months and say, yeah, I didn't get this done this month. But I think that's a great resource. Thank you for coming today. I think it's happy hour time, networking time. My contact information is right there. As I mentioned, I am a private practitioner. And this was my first time presenting at ACDC. So thanks for coming to this session to invest in your career health.
Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you very much.
Very nice.
Thank you.